How about we move to Bryce Harper? We know that his knee buckled while running to first base on Saturday against the Giants. No ligament damage, but with Harper missing some time, his agent, Scott Boras, is claiming the majors need to address their bases. Of course, the base was wet. Boras feels like they need to take some more precautions as it pertains to wet bases. Do you think Rob Manfred, the commissioner, needs to take a look?
Well, yes, I do think that he needs to take a look. The Players Association needs to look into this as well. Not because of Scott Boras, not because Scott Boras said so. Let me just make that clear, and I'm sure I'm going to piss him off too, or whoever is a client of Scott Boras. But just because he says something doesn't mean something should happen. He's just a guy that likes to get his voice out there. But with all that said, I think that something should be looked at with the bases, because nowadays they're, even from when I played, they're a lot thicker. They're really tall and hard, because if you notice on the side of most of the bases, they they write stuff on them, or they engrave stuff on them, however they do it, with the date, the special event that's going on, or so and so versus so and so. So there's labels on there that I guess they need them that high. But when it is wet, the players have a tendency to slip on them because they don't wear the metal spikes anymore. A lot of the guys nowadays wear the plastic molded spikes. So if it's wet, their plastic spikes aren't going to stick into the base. So I think there's ways to get around this. Maybe make the base a little bit softer so that they can give a little bit instead of having that slip on top of it.
It's just tough because, baseball has been played in the rain for many years, Danny, and I'm sure other guys have had things happen, injuries, that sort of thing. But once, I guess, an MVP caliber, one of the big time guys gets injured, now all of a sudden it seems like, people are saying, how about let's take a look at this?
Well, yeah, but that's how it goes, in my opinion. Because when you are going to start to lose your superstar players because of something silly like a base being wet, it does need to be looked at. And it was never mentioned before because guys just kind of blamed it on themselves for not wearing the right spikes. But if you look at it, the bases are too high and too hard. So yeah, unfortunately, it does take a superstar to get hurt before you try to change something. But it is what it is. Look at the collision rule at home plate. That's been going on for hundreds of years. But when Buster Posey breaks his leg, a superstar at the time, that's when they decide to change the rules. So I, I'm not mad that it happens that way, but Major League Baseball wants their superstars on the field.
Something we certainly will continue to follow and see if the majors actually take some measures regarding wet bases.